The sponsor of this video is Massdrop. I'm actually working with them right now on something big for my iPhone 6 coverage, so stay tuned. Link in the description to check them out. Apple had their much anticipated keynote today, and they quickly announced their iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, but they also went on to announce Apple Pay and the one more thing, Apple Watch. So in this video, I'm going to explain what those four things are and what you need to know about them. I'm going to combine the two iPhones into one section of this video. Both new iPhones feature a new seamless design that we've all seen before. I've had this little model for like 5 months now, so it's no surprise on the design. The regular iPhone 6 has a 4.7-inch screen featuring a 1334 by 750 resolution, which gives it a pixels per inch count of 326, the same as the iPhone 5S. But the larger iPhone 6 Plus has a 5.5-inch screen, which is the same as the OnePlus One, as well as a 1080p, 1920 by 1080 resolution, which is also the same as the OnePlus One and many other flagship devices right now. That gives it a pixels per inch count of 401, which is a step up, but you are paying for it. But I'm going to go over everything that I've found notable about those devices that has changed since the last generation. I've already mentioned the bigger screens and higher resolutions, which Apple is calling Retina HD. But in all seriousness, at least they're past the 720p HD mark, so they can call it HD. They also introduced a new type of technology called dual domain pixels, which is basically an IPS screen, giving it a better viewing angle all around, so thumbs up. On the inside, we're getting the new A8 chip backed by the M8 Motion coprocessor, and Apple's claiming a 25% improvement in processing speed and a 50% improvement in graphic speed, which is actually pretty impressive. They also gave a pretty weird fact that the new iPhone 6 is 50 times faster than the original iPhone, which kind of puts it in perspective. But before I move on to the camera, which is a big improvement, I want to talk about the physical size of these phones. The iPhone 6 regular is a 6.9mm thickness, and the iPhone 6 Plus is a 7.1mm thickness. Those are both extremely thin, but they do have protruding cameras, which is really annoying. Another thing that's actually pretty worth noting is the iPhone 6 Plus is 0.4 inches wider and 0.8 inches taller than the iPhone 6, so it's actually going to be a very large phone in your hand compared to the regular iPhone 6. Moving on to that camera, there's an 8-megapixel rear-facing iSight camera, which isn't an increase in megapixel count, but it does have 1.5 focus pixels and an f2.2 aperture. Now, what are those focus pixels? Basically, they're going to help better determine the focus distance and direction of the lens. I think these are actually pretty good improvements in the camera, and there's an all-new sensor inside, so you're totally going to get better pictures. I mean, in reality, you actually are going to get better pictures. I'm excited to try it out. Moving on to video shooting, there's actually some pretty good improvements. Both of the iPhone 6s shoot 1080p at 60 FPS and can shoot 240 FPS slow motion, which is actually pretty impressive. The iPhone 6 Plus also got optical image stabilization, which is a nice improvement over the digital image stabilization on the iPhone 6 regular and all the previous iPhones. There's also continuous autofocus on video, so whatever your subject is, it will stay in focus even as it's moving. And on the front-facing camera, you can now take burst selfies, so 10 photos in 1 second. So you can definitely get that perfect selfie whenever you need to. Maybe you're in the car or driving around, God forbid. So both iPhones are going to ship with iOS 8, which has some improved health features and other small improvements. As for pricing, the regular iPhone 6 16GB version is going to be $200 on contract and $650 off contract, and the iPhone 6 Plus 16GB will cost $300 on contract and $750 off contract. Now, something worth noting is that they both offer a 128GB variant, which is $200 more than the given price I just gave. Alright, so I'm going to talk about Apple Pay now. This is a really interesting topic and I'm really excited for it, but I'm going to keep it short for the sake of this video. Basically, it's a one-click method of paying using your new iPhone or Apple Watch using NFC. This is going to bring NFC to the mainstream, which I'm pretty excited about, as my friend was telling me about, that it's going to help like Google Wallet and everything, because Apple is the trendsetter, and setting the trend of NFC is only going to be a good thing when it comes to the market. I'm really excited personally because putting your credit card and stuff into your phone or your watch or into your Apple account, that's going to keep it hidden from the merchant. So when you buy something, they're not going to see all of your details, which is something nice to have. And in addition, on the iPhone, you're going to be using Touch ID, so it's even more secure when you're making those types of payments. Lastly, and to a lot of you, probably most importantly, let's talk about the Apple Watch. There are so many software features that I simply can't cover into just a third of this video, so go check out some other videos, maybe apple.com if you want to see every feature, but I'll go over the main ones here. But the first thing I want to talk about is its looks, and my first reaction was, ew, that's disgusting. First of all, why did they go with a square display? Circular displays are obviously better suited for the smartwatch industry, and I think it looks very artificial and like a toy. You interact with the Apple Watch using the digital crown, which is a knob on the side of the watch. Apple actually compared the digital crown to the invention or the introduction of the mouse to the Macintosh. I do not think it's going to be that much of a groundbreaker, but I do think it's a cool feature because it does let you navigate the iWatch very easily without covering the screen with your finger. That display though, that screen I just mentioned, is a flexible sapphire display, which is very interesting, and it can detect how much force you're putting on the watch. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some cool integration with that kind of stuff. On the health side of things, there's a bunch of LEDs and IRs and sensors to detect your pulse rate, and that comes pre-installed with a workout and activity app. The workout app just tracks your workout and tells you how good your workout was, and the activity app detects or tracks your activities throughout the day, and then it also stores it on your phone if they're connected, or your iPhone if they're connected. So it's a good way to track how much activity you're getting per day. There's actually a lot of customizability and options available with the Apple Watch. In terms of customizability, whatever watch face you choose, which there are a lot to choose from, you can customize it completely to your liking for most of them. In terms of like options, or I guess variants of the Apple Watch, you have the Apple Watch Sport, and the Apple Watch Edition. Notably, there is the Apple Watch Edition. It's an 18-karat gold version of the Apple Watch, which I actually think is pretty good. It's supposed to look like more classy and more elegant. Now, these are going to start at $350, coming out in early 2015. Probably the Apple Watch Edition, the 18-karat gold version, is going to be a little bit more expensive, but $350 is still a pretty high price tag for a smartwatch. So that's it. The two iPhones I'm extremely excited for. I have so much coverage planned with the 4.7-inch iPhone 6. And Apple Pay, I'm pumped for. I think that's going to make paying for things really convenient. But the Apple Watch, I'm not sold on it. It's extremely ugly and it costs a lot of money. And the Moto 360 is already on its way, and that's a round watch, so I think I'm going to like that a lot more. But only time will tell. So let me know which one you're most excited for in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more content on this kind of stuff, and stay classy.